guys, welcome to the second part of the Chapter IT Bite Size on the cloud. In this session we're going to be looking at the cloud on smartphones, okay, and how we can use the cloud on our smartphones to store information and use that information while we're out and about. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so before we look at installing the cloud apps, I want to talk a little bit about the smartphone and understanding a little bit about the smartphone. Okay, right, smartphones. A smartphone is a mobile phone offering advanced computer-like features. Okay, all smartphones have an operating system. We will be covering operating systems in further sessions. And these allow them to connect to other devices and install apps. I'm sure you've all heard of the word app before, okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. All right. Most smartphones have an Android or iOS operating system. As you can see here, this little green man here, that's Android, okay. An example of an Android phone would be a Samsung S10, okay. And this one down here, iOS, this is the Apple's version of an operating system. Other features of smartphones include media players, so you can watch films, you can watch Netflix on your smartphone if you wish. HD cameras, so you can take photographs on your camera, on your smartphone, and many other apps as well. Okay, there are actually millions upon millions of apps to choose from now. Okay. Most modern smartphones have a touchscreen, so when you buy or if you have a smartphone, you will control it by using your fingers and thumb, by scrolling through the screen and tapping the screen to access the information. The smartphone allows you to send and receive email also, use the internet and play advanced computer games. All right, so the smartphone is pretty much quite a new invention in terms of technology. However, the smartphone now is a part of our lives and it can actually make your life a lot easier because you can access so much information on them. And part of this is actually using the cloud is what we're going to be looking at now. So the next part of this session, we're going to be looking at installing the cloud, and we're going to be looking at how to use the cloud also. All right, so let's get going. So before we begin, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go through the motions of uploading a document to our drive. In this instance, we're going to be using Google Drive. Okay, so this is my screen here. All right, so we're on Google. So if you've got a Gmail account, then you can go straight over here to Gmail and sign in. As you can see here, I'm already signed in, but what I'm going to do is use one of my training emails for the example. So if you notice, like from the last session, we looked at these little dots here like a calculator. So if we click on there and we look for Google Drive, it will take us straight on to Google Drive. Now this is the Google Drive for the training email that I have, and you can see that some of the students have been using it to upload various pictures and setting up folders, as you can see, as we discussed in the last session. Now what we're going to do, as I explained in the last session, we're going to go up to new here and we're going to look to file upload, and we're going to look for a file to upload. Now what I can do is there's one here, Google Drive example. All I do is double click it and it should attach itself straight on to the drive. Now don't worry if this looks a little bit different to your PC, because this is actually a MacBook Pro. However, the way we do it is exactly the same. We go to new, we go to file, upload, we find the file or document that we want, we double click it and it attaches itself to the drive itself. Okay, so that's all we need to do at the moment. Okay, so we can just sign out of that now. Okay, let's sign out. Where are we? Sign out, sign out, sign out. Anyway, we'll do that later. Got in front of us here is my smartphone. Now this is an iPhone 10, which means it uses the iOS operating system as opposed to the Android operating system, which would be on a phone on something like the Samsung S10. But don't worry, too much about that at present. Okay, we're not looking to know how to use a smartphone at the moment. We're just looking to know how to download the Google Drive app. So what I'll do is I'll just log into my phone, and this is the screen that we're presented with. Now, if you can see these little squares here, they're all called apps. And if we just scroll around my phone, you can see all these different types of apps that are available on my phone at the moment. But the one I'm more interested in at the moment is this one here. Okay, it's just coming up now, is this one here, and it's called the App Store. Now, if you're using an Android phone, then you'd look for an app called the Play Store. Now, they do exactly the same thing, okay, they're just on different operating systems, that's all. So let's click on the App Store, and we'll be presented with a screen similar to this. All right, so what we want to do is we want to look for the Google Drive app. So we do that by searching. So we'll just type in Google Drive, and there we've got a list of all the results that have come up. Okay, so then we click on Google Drive, which is the one at the top, and it brings us to the Google Drive app like that. Okay, now but if you notice, I've got a little cloud with an arrow pointing down. That's just telling me that I've already downloaded it before. So let's click on that and let's download it. Now this, as you can see now, it's starting to download. Now it shouldn't take long to download. Okay, if you are going to download apps, I would recommend that you download them while you're on a wireless connection, either at home or somewhere with internet connection. If you do use your 3G or 4G on your phone, then it will cost you money or use up your data on your phone. Okay, and plus it wouldn't be as quick either. Right, so once it's done, it will say open. It's just logged out again. Okay, it will say open. So what we do is we'll just click on open, and it'll take us to the first Google Drive screen. So what we want to do, we want to sign in now. Now, if you're using Google Drive, then you will have a Gmail account. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to sign in. Let's sign in with a different account. Okay, and this is the screen that you will see in front of you when you sign in for the first time. So what we'll do is we'll sign in. Mail.com. You don't actually have to put the gmail.com in if you're using Gmail, but I just put it in as an example. Once you've got that, we can put the password in. Remembering the password is very important. Once we've done that, it will take us to our Google Drive. Now, straight away, if you remember from the first part of the session, we uploaded that letter, didn't we? The Google Drive letter. And as you can see, there it is on the top there. So we can read it. Okay, it will take us to a part of this program called Google Docs, and there it is. We can read what's on that letter. Okay, you can also open these documents in other apps as well. If you've got a Word document, you can download the Word app and you can open it in the Word app, and it will give you the right format when you're reading it. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Let's go back. Okay, now we can also change the way we look at the screen as well. So we could go to this little square here, and these are all the folders that are on your drive. If you remember all those little folders that we looked at the start of the session, okay, these are the folders, and there's our document at the bottom there. Okay, so we can also do that. All right, so what we can also do, okay, is we can decide what we want to do with it. Okay, so we can do certain things with it as well. So we can share it, okay, we can send a copy. So if we wanted to, for instance, send a CV to somebody, we could send a copy of that CV using this part of the app. Okay, if we click on it on an iPhone, this is how it comes up, and we can decide what to do with it. And there's the mail app there, and we can actually send it. And there it is, look, we can send it. It's coming up now. okay, and we can send it. So if you wanted to send a picture or a CV to a potential employer or anything like that, we could do it that way. Now, on an Android phone, it will be a different setup, and I will try to create a session on an Android phone as soon as I can. Okay, so that's just an example. So I hope that helps. Okay, and in the next session, we're going to learn how to use the smartphone in more detail. All right, thanks very much. Bye bye.